in Local 100, and he's joining us this morning to give us some insight on how his members are being affected. So good morning to you, John. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm the international president of the Transport Workers Union. Local 100 is our affiliate.
Yes. Oh, well, you represent what, some 40,000 bus and subway workers, right? So what's the plan that's in place right now to deal with this morning commute in the wake of the strike?
Well, our deal that's in place is to do everything we can to support the Long Island Railroad striking workers. They've been doled out an injustice by Governor Hochul and Jano Lieber at the MTA. They're making a demand for what amounts to 3.6% wage increases over the life of the contract. Now, inflation as of today was 3.8. So I think there's been an effort to sully what the Long Island Railroad workers are actually doing. They're not making outrageous demands. These demands have actually been recommended essentially by 2 federal mediation panels. And at the end of the day, what happens to the Long Island Railroad workers will happen to New York City transit workers to one degree or another, and we support them fully.
Yeah, that's a big concern, I'm sure, for all of your workers. But how are they dealing, though, with this influx of more riders this morning?
Yeah, so we are concerned about that. There is already a compression problem on lines such as the 7 line, which was mentioned earlier on the broadcast. Transit workers, our greatest concern is the safety of our frontline workers. We already suffer 2-3 assaults a week in the subway and bus system in New York City. So it's our hope that the riders that are now coming as an influx into the subway and bus system don't take out this on frontline transit workers. That's about our greatest concern right now, and also a concern as well that we don't allow our members, and our members don't allow themselves to be used to scab the Long Island Railroad strike.
Yeah, I understand. It's an understandable concern there. What about the free shuttle buses? You have shuttle buses that are going, your workers are running those from Queens?
No.
No, you don't.
No, the TWU workers are not doing that.
They're not doing that.
Our members have refused overtime, refused to be taken off their routes, and any kind of shuttle bus work like that is not work that's been deviated from regularly scheduled work.
Oh, so I mean, that's going to be a huge concern for a lot of folks that are hoping that that's the case this morning. Yeah,
well, you know, I think that there are nice buses that are in place on their regular routes, which are able to, you know, I guess to transport affected Long Island Railroad riders. But again, even with the nice bus system, TWU members are not going off their scheduled routes to allow themselves to be used as scabs to break the strike.
Yeah, you mentioned the National Mediation Board is involved in these labor talks. Will negotiations, does that help? Is that pushing things along quicker, in your opinion?
Well, so I'm not at the bargaining table, but the NMP at the bargaining table is definitely a help. They're always a help. And but don't forget that it was the NMB that assigned Presidential Emergency Board arbitrators to look at this, and those arbitrators are the ones that came up with 2 different sets of recommendations, 2 different panels, 2 sets of recommendations for settlement that were rejected by Hochul and the MTA.
Yeah, a lot of eyes are on the governor this morning, aren't they?
Yeah, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. This strike is solely her responsibility. About an hour before the deadline, Hochul and the MTA began regressive bargaining. Only employers who want a strike regressively bargain right at the deadline. She just about compelled the strike by doing that. So it's her fault, her responsibility.
All right, TWU Local 100 President C. John Samuelsen, thank you again for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.